Welcome back to Med Biobus. So today this is ophthalmology, and the topic is squint. So what is squint? Squint is basically, so we have our binocular vision. Any kind of deviation from your binocular vision basically results in a condition which is called as squint. So now to maintain this binocular vision, we require your extraocular muscles. There are a total of 7 extraocular muscles. So LPS, levator palpebrae superioris. Then there is your superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus, then superior oblique and inferior oblique. Out of this, your lateral rectus is supplied by your 6th cranial nerve, which is your abducent nerve, and your superior oblique is supplied by your 4th cranial nerve, which is your trochlear nerve. Rest, your superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus and your inferior oblique, they are all supplied by your 3rd cranial nerve, which is your oculomotor nerve. Now all of these innervations as well as all of these muscles together help in maintaining a binocular vision. And any kind of lesion or any kind of problem which arises, that is, it can be a neural problem or a muscular problem, results in the deviation from the binocular vision, which results in the condition which is called as squint. Now what can be the causes? That is, we can have cranial nerve lesions. So cranial nerve lesions of your that is 4th cranial nerve, 6th cranial nerve, 3rd cranial nerve, they would basically result in problems in your extraocular muscles and contractions. Then other than that, muscular conditions can be myasthenia gravis, which results in muscular fatigue, so of your extraocular muscles. Then there can be your atrophy of the muscles or dystrophy of the muscles. Atrophy or dystrophy, myasthenia gravis, atrophy, dystrophy, resulting in problems. Now we see the extraocular muscles and their functions. So levator palpebrae superioris, what will it do? If this is the eyeball, then it will do elevation of the upper eyelid. So this is done by your levator palpebrae superioris. Then medial rectus, lateral rectus, again it is very understandable. If this is your nose, if this is the lateral side, this is the medial side, then the medial rectus of your right eye would basically movement, there would be your inward movement, that is adduction. And in your lateral rectus there would be, that is abduction, that is movement outside towards the lateral side. Then for your superior rectus, inferior rectus, superior oblique and inferior oblique, these 4 muscles, we have primary, secondary and tertiary actions. So your primary action of your superior rectus, that is superior, so it would be elevation. For inferior rectus, inferior, so it would be depression. For superior oblique and inferior oblique, we cannot see this intorsion and extorsion. In your vivas also, if they ask, it is not visible, it cannot be seen. But if this is the eyeball and if this is our main orbital axis, visual axis, then and this is your nose, this is the medial side, this is the lateral side, then if the eyeball shifts like this, so if they show this like this, then that means intorsion, and if like this, then that means extorsion. And now we come to the secondary actions. Now For superior rectus, the primary action is elevation, the secondary action is intorsion. Elevation, intorsion. For inferior rectus, depression, extorsion. Now for superior oblique, exactly opposite would happen: intorsion, depression, and extorsion, elevation. And for your superior rectus and inferior rectus, that is recti muscles, the tertiary action is adduction, whereas for your superior oblique and inferior oblique, the tertiary action is abduction. This much need to remember. Then comes our rule for clinical action. So all of these are your anatomical action. Now rule for clinical action is that all your primary actions, these primary anatomical actions, would be seen when there is abduction of the eye. That is, what is abduction? If this is the eye, and let's say this is the right eye, and this is your nose, and this is your left eye, and this is your nose, and it's pointing towards this side, so this is your abduction. So in all cases of abduction, we will only see primary actions. So if it is abducting over here, so this is elevation. So in elevation, in primary action, elevation is the primary action of which muscle? Elevation is the primary action of superior rectus. So this action would be attributed to superior rectus because it is in abduction. Similarly, if depression and abduction is again primary action of inferior rectus. So this is due to inferior rectus. Now similarly, adduction in depression, adduction attributes to your secondary actions. So which muscle secondary action is depression? That is your superior oblique. So this would be superior oblique. Then over here again, elevation as your secondary action and adduction. So for adduction, that is secondary action. Here it is elevating. So elevation is the secondary action of which muscle? It is of inferior oblique. So therefore this action is attributed to inferior oblique. So now we come to your anatomical actions and your clinical actions. For your right eye as well as left eye. So we take this as right eye, we take this as left eye. So now anatomical actions for right eye, that is elevation. Elevation can be done by your inferior oblique and superior rectus. Then depression can be done by your inferior rectus and superior oblique. Okay, so these are all for right eye. Right inferior rectus, right superior rectus, right inferior oblique, and right superior rectus. Again, right inferior rectus and right superior oblique. Similarly over here, left superior rectus and left inferior oblique will do elevation, and left inferior rectus and left superior oblique would do depression. And these also have one side vectors. That is, along with that, we know that your superior rectus will also do abduction. So your superior rectus, along with that, we know your right inferior oblique will also do adduction. So here right inferior oblique. Other than that, what else does your adduction and abduction? That is, adduction is done by your right medial rectus and abduction is done by your right lateral rectus. Then what else? Your right inferior rectus also does abduction. So over here your right inferior rectus would also come, and your right superior oblique also does adduction. So here right superior oblique will also come. Similarly over here, your left superior rectus will do abduction, your left inferior rectus will also do abduction, then left superior oblique will do adduction, left inferior oblique would do adduction. Other than that, abduction is also done by your left lateral rectus, and over here adduction is also done by your left medial rectus. So these are all your anatomical actions. Now we come to your clinical actions. Clinical actions, we know that what is the, so in clinical actions we know that your primarily if we say adduction, then in adduction for again your right eye and left eye, for adduction in your right eye, your prime, that is your secondary action will prevail in adduction, and secondary action is done, that is elevation is for your inferior oblique, so this would be inferior oblique. Then over this side elevation we know is done by superior rectus, and in abduction primary action prevails, so over here would be superior rectus. Similarly right inferior oblique, right superior rectus. Similarly over here it would be right inferior rectus, that is depression, primary action and abduction, and over here would be your right superior oblique, that is depression is primary action and abduction, sorry adduction, secondary action adduction. Then similarly, and over here would be again left superior rectus, then over here left inferior rectus, left inferior left superior oblique and left inferior oblique. So if we say what is the clinical action of elevation, it would be left superior rectus plus right superior rectus plus right inferior oblique, and over here also left inferior oblique plus left superior rectus. Similarly clinical action on depression would be right inferior rectus plus right superior oblique, and over here left superior oblique plus left inferior rectus. This would be all the clinical actions. And other than that, your medial rectus, lateral rectus, anatomical and clinical actions would remain the same. That is your again right medial rectus and left medial rectus, and over here your left lateral rectus and right lateral rectus. So these would remain the same. Now if this is the eye, then from your annulus of Zinn, your that tendon, all the extraocular muscles have arisen, and this is your lateral wall and medial wall of the orbit, and it has an angle of 45 degree. Now the orbit is quadrangular, whereas from your annulus of Zinn, that is the point of origin, is conical. Now between your lateral wall and medial wall 45 degree angle is there, and this is your again, so this is your orbital axis, and now the visual axis, when the eyeball straightens like this, then there is an angle of 23 degrees formed between the visual axis and orbital axis. So because of this 23 degree angle, that is your intorsion, extorsion and all other actions can be done. But the moment the 23 degree angle is gone, and the orbital axis and the visual axis coincide on top of each other, then the superior rectus will only becomes only a sole elevator. That is, this without the angle, these adduction abduction cannot be done. Now annulus of Zinn, again no neural control, so therefore extraocular muscles have here. Now we come to binocular singular vision. Humans have binocular single vision, which means they have only one, that is all two eyes, but these two eyes give us only one vision, that is together. This is done by our brain. So even though we form two images, that is we see one vision, we don't see two different visions from two different eyes. So binocular single vision can be classified into three grades, that is grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. In grade 1 we have that is two images, and in these two images there is macular perception, that is both eyes will see the same, there will be superimposed. So first grade 1 is macular perception. Then there is grade 2. Grade 2 is fusion, that is there will be minute retinal differences between the two images. So over here there is a tree, over here also, so when you fuse both of them, that is fusion done by our brain. So that is basically fusion. So macular perception and fusion. Third is stereopsis. Stereopsis means angular vision from both eyes, which is basically again connected by our brain as one. So if you see a pot from like this angle, but the final image, that is those differences are again gone. Then we come to that is binocular single vision uh, formation. So in binocular single vision, formation can be done in three ways, that is your synergistic muscles, antagonistic muscles, and your yoke muscles or contralateral synergist. So now synergistic muscles say that the direction and movement of the eye and everything of those two muscles in the same eye would be the same. That is, we take both eyes separately. So first, if we take the right eye, then in right eye, the right superior rectus and the uh, the right inferior oblique both have elevation. So therefore, this eye, that is when both the muscles would act together, then elevation would occur. So it would become like this. So that is your synergistic movement, that is synergistic muscles, two muscles which have the same action in the same eye. Similarly, antagonistic, that is two muscles which have opposite action in the same eye, that is left medial rectus and left lateral rectus. So if this is your left eye, then your left medial rectus, that is the eye movement would be over here towards the middle line, and over here it would be away from the middle line. So these are two muscles which are in the same eye, but they have opposite antagonistic actions. Now we come to yoke muscles or contralateral synergists. That is, yoke muscles or contralateral synergists, that is one muscle from each eye. So basically no pairing of muscle in one eye, that is the one pair of muscles would be formed wherein each muscle would be from separate eye. So one muscle from the right eye and one muscle from the left eye. It only has one action that is similar, that is the similar action is only one, which is basically the action only that is similar. Otherwise the muscles are also different, the innervation, everything is different, eye is also different, everything is different, only thing is that the action would be similar. So how? Left lateral rectus and right medial rectus. So this is right eye, left eye in all of them, and nose, right eye, left eye, nose, right eye, left eye, nose. Okay, so first is your left lateral rectus. So we know left side lateral rectus movement would be like this towards this side, and right medial rectus would be like this. So the final movement is this. So we will call it, for right it is dextro, for left it is levo. So levoversion. Levoversion. Why? Because left lateral rectus and right medial rectus acted. Now we see right medial rectus and left lateral rectus. So okay, same only I've written. This would be right lateral rectus and left medial rectus. So now right lateral rectus movement is over here and left medial rectus over here. So the final would be like this. So this is dextroversion, towards the right side eyes are seeing. Now we come to right superior rectus and right inferior oblique. We know clinical action of, over here only clinical actions are considered, not anatomical actions. So left superior rectus, left eye superior rectus, what is the clinical action? That is superior rectus. In clinical action, the primary action dominates. Primary action is elevation, and that too in abduction. So here this is your left superior rectus movement, and over here left superior rectus and right inferior oblique. Okay, first let's take this left superior rectus and right inferior oblique. So left superior rectus in abduction there is elevation. So left superior rectus in abduction, elevation. So this is your left superior rectus, and right inferior oblique. So inferior oblique, that is in adduction, the secondary action is taken. So depression in adduction is your right inferior oblique. Sorry, it's not superior oblique, inferior oblique. So elevation in your right inferior oblique, that is elevation is done in your adduction. So the eyes over here would be like this. So again, this is towards the left side and it is elevation, so levo elevation. Then over here we know right superior rectus. Right superior rectus is basically abduction and elevation, and left inferior oblique again adduction and elevation. So it would be dextro elevation. Then comes your right inferior rectus and left superior oblique. So inferior rectus primary action we know is depression and in abduction. So right side inferior rectus, so over here right inferior rectus and left superior oblique. So we know superior oblique secondary action is depression and adduction. So here is left superior oblique. So it would be, so this is towards the right side, so dextro depression towards the right side. Then comes your left inferior rectus and right superior oblique. So left side inferior rectus we know depression and abduction. So over here left inferior rectus, and we have right superior oblique again secondary action depression and adduction. So right superior oblique, so it would be like this, so towards the left side, so levo depression. Then comes your right inferior rectus plus right superior oblique plus left inferior rectus plus left superior oblique. So we know that the right inferior rectus, that is an adduction, and your right inferior rectus in depression and right superior oblique in depression towards adduction together would result in depression. Similarly, your left inferior rectus, that is in depression and abduction, and your left superior oblique, that is depression and adduction, would result in your depression. So this is your depression. So this would be like this, looking down. So this is like this. So this is called as dorsum virgin, different name, dorsum virgin. Similarly, for both eyes, that is right superior rectus plus right inferior oblique. So for your right eye, we know again right superior rectus. So this is your elevation and abduction, and right inferior oblique, elevation and adduction. Together the clinical action is elevation. Similarly over here left superior rectus, that is abduction and elevation, left inferior oblique, that is adduction and elevation, together elevation. So this would be like this, which is called as sursum virgin. Now some more important things. That is formation of binocular singular vision. That is, for that 4 muscles are required. So according to your Sherrington's law, that is of reciprocal inhibition. So when we say the third law of Newton, that is every action has equal and opposite reaction. So if I hit the paper, then the paper also hits me. So similarly, that is if two muscles contract, reciprocal inhibition. If two muscles contract, then the rest of the two muscles will relax. This is what Sherrington's law of reciprocal inhibition says. So relaxation of yoke muscle antagonist. So if over here my right medial rectus and left lateral rectus are contracting, then my right lateral rectus and left medial rectus must relax. And if either of these muscles are faulty, then that would result in squint. So basically all the four muscles are required. So two yoke muscle contraction and two yoke muscle relaxation, and any kind of lesion would result in squint. Now there is also Hering's law of equal innervation, that is Hering's law of 1 hour only, Hering's law of equal innervation, Sherrington's law of reciprocal inhibition, and Hering's law of equal innervation, which says that all the muscles that are contracted simultaneously, they should be first of all innervated equally, innervation should be equal, and the contraction therefore should also be equal at the same time. What are the application? That is secondary deviation and inhibitional palsy, which would be seen later on.